Hey everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a podcast with Shauna Krystin. Have we actually? This is just met like 5 minutes ago. We have known each other on Facebook for I don't know a few years, give or take. Um, do we know when was it with like the Ron Paul crowd and like Pork Fest, or did it have more to do with like with Sarah and like connect over
Oh,
her years back?
well, I think because of Sarah, because Sarah was my best friend, and we're going back to like 2013 when she did the Million Mask March, the first one.
Yeah.
And then we became friends after that. And her and I mean, we lived across the country. I was at the time living in Seattle. Um, we spoke on the phone and on the internet absolutely daily until literally the day she died. And so I came over once. I only spent a few days over there. It was about a week. And then when she passed away, I came over for like 48 hours. And I didn't get to meet you either time, though.
Yeah, either time it was bad times. Do For the Million Mass March, where was that? Was that in DC?
Washington, D.C., yeah.
Okay. Tell
Mhm.
us about that. Tell us what all that was about and what year. You said 2013, right?
So the one that I saw on the internet was 2013.
Mhm.
I came to the one in 2015, and that's when I met John Fairhurst, John Manninen, a bunch of amazing activists. So many people, I can't remember everybody, but I know a lot of them are still on my social, and I appreciate and value some of those friendships so much. So it's really been amazing. But I mean, we shut down DC. I mean, everything's wrong. And I mean, what's happening today, I really feel is like a manifestation of everything that we were screaming in the streets, like, stop doing this. We're killing our planet for profit, and it's disgusting. And I think everybody was out there for different reasons, in their mind, but it's the same reason. It's that, they cared about their particular, passion topic, whether it's big pharma or big ag or, whatever. It's all tied in together, and it's all very wrong now. It's literally what has happened is what I feel like we were asking for
When you
to,
when you mentioned you
to
shut down
stop.
DC, I had remember it triggered like a core memory, and the core memory said like I remember a bunch of the truckers that were going into DC, they couldn't get in, and like the supply lines were like gone for because you got how long did that last? Was that
I it was just a day that we were out there,
no?
but definitely stopped everything that day. It was crazy. It was a experience like none I've ever, since or before to have. Basically, there's like five different enforcement agencies, I think, in DC, because you've got the Secret Service and you've got the DC cops, and each one, all of them, basically following us around the city as we're just stopping traffic. And I was just like, absolutely surreal.
So obviously you can't arrest a million people. You can't, or
Mm-mm.
however many people were there. Did they try to find? Was it like Occupy Wall Street, and they tried to find the leader, and then they say like, okay, we arrest this, and we're trying to arrest key people.
I don't think anybody got arrested that day. It was very peaceful, and that's the way that we wanted it to be. And so we really didn't get that pushback. They just basically kind of followed us around and kept the peace, so to speak. They We didn't break anything. So I I think that maybe that would have changed the dynamic there.
So the mindset at there, you said you're peaceful, so it was just like love, like, hey, we're not doing this to like start a revolution. We're doing this just because like we love like the planet, we love the people, and we just want to stop getting hecked up the butt with like no Vaseline.
All right. Well, that's it. I think the same crowd probably would break stuff now. I mean, we're
Yeah,
pissed, right? Like,
no,
I mean, the word revolution contains the word love. It's backwards, I think, in there. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's part of it. Why would we want to change things if we didn't give a shit?
I mean, if you have there's so many things that I love about me just being in the military. Love the First Amendment. Love that being able to say what you want, assemble wherever you want, and you should always have the freedom to do that. Where I think it does kind of break down is when you have the protests. and there's a lot of like damage. And I'm not talking about damage like, hey, we're protesting Starbucks because like I don't know if that's slave. Well, let's say Apple because they have like slave labor or whatever. And then like you burn down like an Apple store, hopefully with no one in it. I feel like there's some protests sometimes where they're burning down storefronts and cars and that have zero to do with the issue at hand. But then you have on the other side the argument saying, well, violence and protest is the language of the unheard. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's interesting because like I followed like the Ferguson stuff, and that was very, very different from what I experienced, which was very peaceful. And
And that was
that
only
was
like a year
very
later,
valid.
right?
The point of activism, I think, is to bring awareness, and either one works. I guess I'm a utilitarian, so and like I said, I'm I'm pissed. I've literally checked out of activism except for the way that I live, right? I've gone to the most remote island chain in the world, and I live on the least populated island in the least populated district. And then I went up the mountain, like I live where it's cold in Hawaii
Ooh,
because I want to. Not it's not always cold. It's just getting winter, so nights are getting chilly. Yeah, not cold compared to y'all's cold.
not
I'm
cold where you have to wear two sweatshirts, one in the front, one in the
yeah,
back.
I mean, I saw 37 degrees, so one winter
Oh,
so
yeah, it's
probably
cold for you
not.
guys.
No, you guys have like negative degrees. I don't think
Mm,
that. So you're
yeah,
on the East Coast, yeah.
trying to go to Florida soon, next
Mhm.
year. I'm hoping because it's.
Well,
But,
come to Hawaii, it's better. Florida's
so
like
how the I feel like Hawaii is so expensive, and I saw that saw like your post the other day saying like this is why I'm starting an OnlyFans. It's like $10 for a dozen eggs. Was that
That's
what type of eggs are
insane, right?
those?
And they're grown on island. They literally says they're made in
Oh, so
Hawaii eggs, and I'm like, well, I got some chickens, so I'm gonna just make my own eggs.
yeah, I just get eggs every day from that. Those weren't even imported eggs that they had to pay for like import fees. Those are so how much are the imported eggs?
Ironically, they're probably slightly cheaper. I'm not sure. I don't buy eggs, so um, I was doing that for show. Actually, as I looked at that, I saw a lady at the grocery store look like she was about to have a heart attack, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And I looked over, and she's like, "The price of eggs." I was like, "This is this is absurd. Like this is really getting out of hand."
Oh, yeah, that sounds awful. Especially 'cause, like, I mean, I eat a lot. And the not my rep. I mean, this is when I was like trying to gain weight. I was eating like 18 eggs a day at one point, and it was in conjunction with other stuff. So that would be like $15 in eggs a day if I were to do that diet now and live on Hawaii. That's a
Right.
lot.
Well, I mean, so my goal is to be 100% like food sustainable on my property. So I'm so far from that right now, but I am growing some of my own food. And my chickens actually absconded, so I don't have any eggs right now, but they'll be back.
Okay.
They're living out in the woods, but definitely. So I have an acre of land, and I'm developing a food forest is the goal. And I mean, a lot of it ends up being plant-based. I mean, animal, I do eat meat, but animal agriculture overall is just like so unsustainable that I, kind of am. The goal is that I get away from eating so much. Like I would have maybe a couple animals that I kept for food, and but it's
Like a goat or a cow for milk, and then
probably I was thinking sheep.
okay.
They're easier to contain than goats, and I don't really like goat meat, so it's kind
At
of.
that point, would you get like a herding dog, like a sheep dog, to go and like help? I don't know how many sheep you plan to get. With three,
I
you're
did
probably
just
fine.
keep them in a. I have an acre, so I would just keep them in a fence. I
Would
would
you need?
imagine. I have dogs. I have 3 dogs. I love dogs.
Oh,
If I get a sheep, I get to get another dog. So it was like, I have a sheep now, so I need to get a dog for my sheep.
do you guys have? Do you have like coyotes there, where you would need to like help defend the sheep? No. Okay.
There's no natural land predators here at all. So there's
Oh,
pigs
nice.
and there's goats.
So you don't have to worry like going on a hike like a wolf or a bear's gonna come. I mean, obviously it's really warm there for those, but even a coyote you don't have to worry about.
No, there was a rumor, and I have no idea if it's true, but it was all over the local social media that there was a wildcat that had like somehow been smuggled onto the island and was like big people were hearing like a puma scream, like the people were posting pictures that like, "Oh, I think I saw it," and a lot of them were jokes. Like it ended up being kind of this urban legend thing. I don't know if there was a big cat or not. It was fun though.
Yeah, I love it when like nothing in your town happens and then suddenly something happens and it's the talk of the town. Um,
Exactly. And I mean, this is a really, I mean, the whole island, like, it's about the size of the state of Connecticut as 200,000 full-time residents. So not very big. I came from the Seattle area. There's, what, 3 million people in the city
yeah.
of Seattle or something like that.
How many people there are like natives like in the island that you're at? And how many people are people that like you that just moved there from another state or another country?
So the demographics here are kind of interesting. The native Hawaiians really decimated. I mean, Hawaii was stolen. Yeah,
Mm.
it's definitely there's no treaty of annexation. Anyway, so the native people were actually decimated. It was a hugely populated, probably hundreds of thousands of native Hawaiians living here when Western culture came. And so then they're like down to like 30,000. The like the census says that it's like 67% Pacific Islander, but there's Marshallese here from the Marshall Islands, which is like a Bikini Atoll, right? The US government destroyed
Yeah.
Bikini Atoll. And so the Marshallese, they kind of give them like refugee status or something. Like there's actually a weird kind of racism between the Hawaiians and the Marshallese. The Hawaiians don't like the Marshallese because
Oh wow.
I mean, the US government destroyed their islands too,
Yeah.
right? But they don't get any kickback. They don't get any like immunity and, just like free food and place to stay or
Yeah.
whatever. And so that 67% number definitely includes,
Yeah.
all I don't know, like can I look up the percentage of Native Hawaiians real quick? Like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I maybe I we'll get back to that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I wish I had a secretary. I'd be like, hey, look that up for
Oh,
me real
same.
quick.
That would make life so much easier. So
uh,
for me, it would make life easier just because I got a lot of messages between
and
Twitter
what
and
I
LinkedIn.
want to say, I'm just guessing because I mean, it's what I do for work is I've looked at those numbers. So I'm just guessing. I think it's like 11 to 13%.
So Spade, what are you doing for work right now? I feel like there's a
Uh,
couple
so,
things.
so I actually I do resource development, which is grant writing and fundraising for nonprofits.
Cool.
So I'm currently in kind of a transition space. So I am leaving where I currently work. I actually am working with some members of my community to actually create a food security nonprofit here in the community that I live in. But that's completely like a volunteer thing
Yeah.
project that we're working on. Probably working on filing paperwork for that to get that legally formed by the end of the year. So nonprofit work. I also bartend. So because living in Hawaii, as you've seen, the price is very expensive. You can't have just one job, even if it's a professional level job that
Yeah.
I had to have an education and stuff for. I actually work in 2 different bars, are on kind of on call or as needed. And one's a hotel. That's very
So
nice.
you said that. All right. So the other day, or I'll get to that in a minute, the bartending stories, let's go there. What are some wild stories you've seen, whether it be like
Oh,
executives, some punk kids, everyone in
I don't
between?
know. I mean, I saw you put that in the title, and I was like, man, like the wildest ones are back from New Orleans, and it's just like that was so
Tell
long ago. And
them.
it was so blurry. I drank so much there. The frat kids are stupid. I literally like, I don't know. Okay, how about this one? I was so tired after work because the bars don't really close in New Orleans, right?
Oh
At all.
God.
The clubs close, but it's at like 4 a.m. And it's Mardi Gras is absolutely disgusting, actually, because it's, I mean, it's like a couple mile long street. It's really not. French Quarter is quite a small space, and 3 million people pack into it and just get drunk as shit. And I mean, you literally see people like shitting in the street across the street from like someone who's like the couple that's like fucking on the balcony. Like it's absolutely debauchery. And I would get off work and just so tired, and guys are yelling at me, trying to throw beads at me, show us your tits, and I am just like, don't. Let me go home. I want to go home. I literally threw beads back at a guy's face one time, and I was like, get the fuck out of my way.
So that how many weeks a year do you think it's not like that versus how it is like that? Like, okay, you have most weeks
Oh,
of the year it's kind of calm.
yeah. No, it's literally just like the 3 weeks leading up to Fat Tuesday, which
Yeah.
is what, in February. So it's it's really awesome city the rest of the rest of the year.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It felt like home for a while, but
Did you move after the hurricane or before
I
Hurricane
moved
Katrina?
before. Uh, that's kind of a funny story. I lost basically my everything I had accumulated in my young adult life in Katrina, even though I didn't live there anymore, because I had put all my shit in storage and had
Oh
intended to go
no.
back. And I mean, like high school yearbooks and like my snowboard. I don't know,
Yeah.
like it's whatever. It's just stuff. I've collected a lot more stuff. Sorry, I just saw that comment. That's
Yeah,
funny.
there's so many funny people and the subscribers they keep me laughing all the time. So speaking of beads and all that stuff, you had said, I guess, supplement your income, start an OnlyFans, but you also mentioned that on a post on Facebook saying, if I could talk to my 23-year-old self, it would be to keep dancing and to keep so you danced as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So actually, coming out of New Orleans, because I was working in the bars in New Orleans, but I wanted to go home, and I had a car, and that's what I do. I don't know. Rather than getting on a plane, I would put the things I could fit in my car, and I went to Texas, and as it was on the way
yeah.
home, right, and I just started. I wanted to waitress in a strip club, and they were like, "You should dance," and I was like, okay, I should. I like money. So, yeah. So, and it kind of facilitated my journey home, because I really could just like, okay, I'm sick of this town. I'm going to move to the next one. I was in Austin for probably like 3 or 4 months. Austin's a cool city too.
So when you, as any of the videos that you're putting on OnlyFans, were they like routines from the dancing days and you're just like, oh yeah, I remember this, and showed off his teasers or something?
Oh no, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just being my silly fucking self, and I guess people think it's sexy. I literally just get these messages all of the time, and like old coworkers and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Like, I like money. Like, you want to talk to me? Give me money.
Oh, so what are the messages like? Were you always getting them? And then,
Oh,
oh god,
like my whole entire life, yeah, basically. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't look at them. Like the filters are pretty good at like the random strangers, but like, I mean, I don't know. Here, yeah, anonymous ex colleague, former colleague, ran into like I'm trying to change jobs, so I'm showing up at this spot to like scope it out. I want to see if I like work for this organization, and run into a former colleague who's like stoked to see me, and he wants my number, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then like I get this message, he wants to like pay me to entertain him. I'm like, that's not my usual line of work,
oh,
sir, but
because he
I
saw
mean, I
your
like
OnlyFans.
money, so do you want some videos? I don't know. I'm
Oh, so he saw your OnlyFans and then, Oh,
It literally like
this is
kind of
random.
precipitated me like making the decision to start it because I was just like, well, I mean,
Oh my god. The, I mean,
it's gonna happen anyways. If I'm gonna be solicited, why don't I be the one soliciting, right?
damn, the balls on that guy, not in seeing you for however long time, not knowing you didn't have an OnlyFans, you weren't really in the industry, and him saying like, "Can I pay you for it?" Jeez, that's so nuts. Uh, but yeah, okay. You said how many? You started just a couple days ago,
Mhm.
um, and I don't. I feel like you just made like one post about it. That I think you deleted the post. How many subscribers did you get so far, and what will you do like for marketing?
Well, so I'm kind of being low key about it because I guess I am in some aspects still trying to be a professional also. And I mean, I read articles all the time, like teachers and stuff or lose their job, but I guess it'd be really good PR also.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess we will find out. I have 10, hopefully more after this podcast. So
So
I
link is down
haven't put a
below.
whole lot of effort into it though either. I literally have been working all week, so
Yeah,
I get the next 5 days off. So
nice.
so I'll definitely be making some new content.
Yeah. So I wrote link down below for the OnlyFans. And then
Yeah,
so you said the being a professional and doing that, but your name on there is like completely different on your OnlyFans, right?
it's
So
Tavy. Yeah, Tavy
yeah,
is
so
my dance. It was
I'm
my
not sure
stage
that
name, so
people
I
would
like to
find it.
compartmentalize it. So
Yeah.
um,
But you can see who subscribes, right? Because you have their email or you
It
have
just shows
their
me their username, I think, and so I
okay.
guess I I won't know who everybody is because they have, their screen name, but if their screen name is their name, I guess I can't see you. And thanks, guys. Like
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
My friend Stacy I had on a while ago. She said she's a tattoo artist and she'll like people will ask her about it. Like people will go sub, have a tattoo. She'll have like her OnlyFans thing like in the background, and then her clients that she has will add her on OnlyFans. Then they'll like want to talk to her about it. She says that gets kind of weird talking about her OnlyFans while she's tattooing. So she said that's a little awkward. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As a dancer, I literally always talked to my clients, I guess, right? Like
yeah,
I
that makes sense.
actually and I have a girlfriend who, gosh, how do I get you her link? She should be shouted
Oh,
out because she's my
you could.
teacher.
Oh, so
Miranda,
you
I
could
can just
send it.
put it somewhere, right?
You could
I'm
put it
going
in the chat if it's her OnlyFans.
okay.
Chuck it in the chat.
I'm on my computer, so I
She's your
can I
simp.
do that at the same time?
You might be able to. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on the because the link that I think you shared on Facebook, you could just click on that and it'll bring you to the video, and then
Right.
you can share it in the comments.
Okay, so I can actually go to this guy in my phone too. Okay. Thanks for coaching me. Um,
Here's Ankush. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks. Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. I keep forgetting. So it's like a holiday
it
weekend.
is. It's
Yeah,
so exciting. I like it.
yeah. Oh sweet, I got a payout too. Um, a payout from Vivi. So there's this company that I cover called Vivi, and they do it's. I don't. What is your thing about NFTs? What do you know about them? What are your thoughts on them? If you do have info on them.
Oh, NFTs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if any of that is real. I like art. I think the AI art is really cool. This is probably the coolest thing that came out of it. I put some money in a crypto marketplace, but I don't know anything. And not my keys, not my coins, sir. My
Yeah.
Voyager is all frozen, and I guess I don't have any idea.
Oh
Uh,
damn. So you said Voyager was frozen.
oh shoot,
Okay.
sorry.
So you added yourself on there,
I
which that's the link for
I
the.
know that had put take me away. Can
Okay.
I?
Take me away. Sorry.
Sorry,
That was fun.
I was really trying to. My friend Miranda C. Ghani is on my coach, and I have no secretary, and I don't know how to do
Miranda
that.
said maybe I could find it and then I
So
could share it
she's
in
on
chat.
my. Actually, if you look on, yeah, if you look on mine, because I subscribe to her because she's a homie and she gave me a free trial link so I could see what.
Okay, is she tagged on your? Is she tagged on your particular OnlyFans, like in one of your posts?
Probably not. But that's probably easier to do than.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I just saw that. That's just okay.
I don't have to be tech savvy to do this. As also like I actually am. I understand, but I don't understand social media at all. Like, and it kind of blows my mind, some of this. I like this podcast format is really cool, except for the fact that I was able to just like be another person on my phone.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was get in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, if you go on your Facebook and you just click on the link on your phone, it should take you to the chat, and then it should take you to the video, and you should be able to link it in the chat. But a buddy of mine has a person in like the Philippines that they pay, which I think in the Philippines the average salary is like a couple dollars a day. So they pay over that amount, but it's still like $5 a day just to answer messages, just to go and so at some point you'd be able to do that and hire
That's
someone.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I need, is someone to like manage it for me. I was joking. I told my friend that she was going to have to do it for me. Here, I just sent you a link. Yay.
Okay, so I should get that link. You sent that in? Okay, all right.
In Messenger, because that's what I know how to use. So.
Okay, open in Chrome, and I'm going to, all right, Miranda.
Yeah, she's my teacher, and I wanna give her some like
All right,
love
I'm
too.
copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in the chat. Hopefully that. Okay.
So she pays her bills. She pays all her bills. She doesn't do anything but OnlyFans, and she's been doing it for 2 years. And I think
Nice.
that's amazing. That's like goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to never leave my house if possible.
That's kind of what I do with YouTube. I don't really leave. I don't do anything else. So
well, I don't even want to go to the store. I want to go out into my food forest and pick food and go get eggs for my chickens and have breakfast. So I even have a coffee tree growing. So
you've had I think if I remember, your last relationship, I think, ended X amount of months ago. What are your thoughts on love now that you have had a few relationships and you've had a few, like, do you want to be like a hermit? Do you want to be like, no, I'm done with people? Or do you think you might love again?
Oh gosh. Well, so see, I've actually been on a real like man-hating thing for quite a while, because actually my last serious relationship ended kind of like really, really badly, and then I dated a couple annoying boys. But it's weird that you ask me that, because there's a boy at my house right now, and I like him.
Does he know you like him?
I do. I really like him. I think he's like an outlier in my research data, though. Like, he's definitely
good. What makes him different?
Well, he's he's Kiwi. His name's he's lived in New Zealand for 10 years, and I just think he was like socialized differently. Like, he's just really, like, I feel like he's genuinely a good person, as where a lot of people pretend to be good people to get something out of you ultimately, or to, and I don't know, people are just broken. It's not that they're, because I don't think that the man that hurt me intended to hurt me. I don't think that was his goal, but he has just been hurt so badly that I'm gonna go down this one a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of the problems in our society kind of stem from like this emotional immaturity, and men in particular are kind of socialized in a way that you're not allowed to experience the full range of your like human experience of emotions, right? From just a small kind kid, you're probably 6 years old or younger when you're told to man up, stop crying. Men aren't supposed to cry. And so then that sadness, along with any other really expressive emotion, is stuffed down, and anger is acceptable, right? And so that becomes kind of the predominant emotion. And women are also socialized. Our emotions are allowed to have a little bit fuller range. But if we're very passionate, then we're, hysterical, or, I'm absolutely insane. I don't care. I embrace it. Like, it's
Yeah.
really a good place to not care what, people think of you. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel that if we kind of honor more like the full range of our emotions, we become like stronger, better people.
I think this is why I'm such a big proponent of psychedelics, like mushrooms and LSD, because that's the type of thing that for me, yeah, same thing. I was like super when I was younger, also not having the best childhood. Like I feel like you don't really get into boxing because your life is sunshine and rainbows. I was a fighter, then I went to the military, and it wasn't until then when I had gotten like, I had experimented with acid the first time, and then I was like, oh wow, these are exploring these, and it was the first time ever really, really doing that. So and now I feel like I'm like a 180 where like I'll yeah, just feel what you want, feel what you need to feel, and it's almost like hippie-ish. It's like, no, it's just love, and I just want to like hug people and drink with them and tell them you love them. It's very. I got a lot more feminine traits since that. Um,
I love psychedelics. I don't do drugs. I smoke weed and I do psychedelics. But have you ever done DMT though?
I I've done ayahuasca once, like the synthetic form, but I haven't. It was at Porkfest, one year, one year. Yeah, it was 2014 or 2015. My so my friend, I went with my friend. Or do you know Erica Nicole? She's always in um the activist group, like Ron Paul groups. You might not.
Probably, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure right now.
Um, we had dated back in the day, and she had introduced me to like Porkfest, all like the political activist stuff. And we both like Ron Paul, but she introduced me to a lot of that. And we went in 2014. My friend Patrick comes with me in 2015. He's like, dude, you got to go. It's so much fun. It's so exciting. And he brings the stuff that looks like wine, and he brings the stuff that you're supposed to put it like you eat the stuff that looks like crumpled up, whatever, and then you drink the thing that looks like wine. And I felt nauseous for like 10 or 15 minutes. Like, oh God, what did I do? He's like, no, it's supposed to happen. And then I closed my eyes, but I could still see like the bones in my hand. I had like X-ray vision, and it was like it was in VR where I would close my eyes. I would still see everything there, that like the ground and the trees and stuff, but other stuff would be there too. It's like I was tapping into another reality. It was wild.
It,
Um, what about you? What are your experiences?
okay, so I've the first time I did it is the best time I did it, because the second time I did it at a party, and I don't think it's meant to be used
Yeah.
that way. So the experience was much different. But my friend had gotten a vape pen, yeah, DMT vape, and we were on the beach, and it was sunset, and I hit it, and the sunset just literally pixelates. It just pixelated away, and everything broke down, and there was like a vortex of the clouds like circled, and it had like the light language, and you could see like mantis people in the like in the portal. I don't know, I guess I didn't do enough to go through it, because that would be the goal. But it's kind of
So yeah.
scary too. Like, I hold myself down here on earth a little bit sometimes, because I don't know, I think I might not come back, so.
Oh, I want to go wild. I want to see wild and crazy stuff because I'm a very big believer in the fact that we are most likely a simulation. So when you said pixelated, I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
it.
no, it is a simulation. I guess that's what I saw. I mean, it literally fell apart, and I saw what's actually behind it.
I have this. Are you into like physics at all? Like quantum or theoretical physics? Where you
I'm interested in a little bit of everything, and that's definitely on the list.
so there's I forget which scientist it was that wanted to see if light behaved like a wave or a particle.
Right.
And as he does like the double slit experiment where light, if it goes into one and then see how it moves. And based on the whether he's observing it or not, it will behave a different way. So the
That's
electrons, like the photons, they'll behave one way, but then if you observe it, like the act of looking at it changes its behavior. And I don't know what the fuck that means. I I still that still makes me lose sleep sometimes where that's like a game engine where it doesn't happen unless you look at it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is when you start thinking about things like that is like what is actually real? Like really what is real? Because I'm looking at something and we're not in the same room, but hypothetically we were and we're looking at the same object. Do we even perceive it the same way? Does
Yeah.
it look the same and or we've agreed upon it being the same object, but I'm not convinced that we see it the same.
Yeah.
Especially like other species. You ever seen a cat? I swear they see into other dimensions. They're just like sit there and like look at things that aren't there. It's like there's
Yeah.
definitely they're seeing something.
Yeah. I used to foster a cat for my friend Patrick, the one that I saw at Porkfest. He was deployed to Qatar for like 6.5 months. I was house sitting his cat, and his cat was great, but every now and then just run away. I was like, oh, what do you see? What do you like? It's wild. So you have dogs? Do you have cats?
I have far too many animals. They actually live here. They just let me come and feed them. So there's 4 cats here and 3 dogs.
That's amazing. That's do you just have like animals on your bed all the time? Like, yes.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
yeah, I yes, basically. They sleep wherever they want. There's Kaya.
I'm so jealous.
He's knocked out. He didn't even sleep
I
yet.
Part of the reason why I don't think I could date anymore because like I love dogs, I love animals, and the last girlfriend I had three cats and a dog and a rat, and I love them all. And then when we broke up, now I don't see them anymore, and I don't know which hurts worse, the breakup or not seeing them anymore, the animals. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like I hate heartbreak. So I understand when you went on like a man hating thing because obviously I broke your heart, and I don't. Yeah, I refuse to do that ever again. We're both girlfriend and animals, even though I
Right.
love them.
I know. I love the dogs, but I guess you gotta kind of be a little Buddhist about it, right? Like, I mean,
It's hard.
attachment is suffering and everything ends. And, so you just kind of take the good with the bad and be like, stoked that I did get to meet that dog, that I did get to experience that person, that I did get to have that,
Yeah,
honestly, one of the most amicable breakups I ever went through in my life was life changing for me and helped me move to Hawaii. I mean, I loved him. I was with him for years. I thought we were going to get married, but he said one day, he's like, I want to break up. And I'm like, I want to move to Hawaii. And I
mm,
moved to Hawaii. And literally, it's the best thing that he ever did for me was not marrying me.
yeah. So
So, life is just it is what it is, and just be happy that you got to pet that rat.
that's true. Maybe that's one of the drawbacks of acid. I feel things like so much, and I'm thankful. Like I feel things so deep, like because I feel like not everybody. I feel like a lot of people's emotions, I kind of just scratch the surface of them. I don't really feel, and I feel things so deep. Like when it ends, like oh god, it's like when you're watching your favorite anime and you're watching the last episode. You're like no, or a character dies. Like
All right.
yeah,
Oh,
it's strange how some people's admiration for the fiction sometimes overpowers our admiration for like real life. Like if they see like Shiva in like Walking Dead dies or like Carl Walking Dead dies. Like some people like fictional characters they die and they're so sad about it versus when like oh yeah my uncle or grandpa or whatever but that they weren't as close with real people. It's like yeah, I don't know if you've
yeah,
noticed that same thing.
I don't watch TV very very much. I really don't. So I definitely am not going to mourn a fictional character. I I mean, when you're in it, it's always really hard. I mean, that breakup that I was just talking about, the 6 months between him saying, we're done, and me actually moving to Hawaii were tremendously emotionally intense, very confusing. Like, I wanted to go, but like, did I want to go? Did I really want to let this go? Could, could I make him change his mind? Like, whatever,
Yeah.
it definitely was not just like, I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's move on. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't like that. I cried a lot. But a year and a half ago, I was crying like almost every day. And if you go look at my TikTok, you can actually kind of watch my mental breakdown in slow motion. On my I was trying to get over my ex-boyfriend because he hurt me really badly, but I loved him. So but it's all part of the process, right? You do have to feel deeply, like, that's important. um oh, did I lose him? Where did Randy go? Well, I guess I'm the only one here now. I guess I we're experiencing technical difficulties. Did me? I'm still live. Can I stop? Oh, he's back. Yay. Sorry, guys. Hopefully.
You can see this. We good?
What happened?
I don't I don't know. I think
I
I lost
wasn't
it.
very good at carrying it because I was like, I don't know what to do without you. So I was just kind of like weird and
All right.
awkward.
Okay, so yeah, I just had to move closer to the router, I guess. And let
Oh,
me go on. Yeah. Okay.
it
So
it warned me that when I opened it, move closer to the
so
router. So I was like, okay, I can't get any closer.
I was not close to the router. So I'm in my friend's office right now, and she has a lot of awesome things. But so let's say in the future, let's say wind the clocks forward like a year or two, and you have 300 people on your OnlyFans, and you're making, a good amount, and let's say you raise the price to like, $10 a month. You have at that point probably as much, if not more money than you need. And let's say you do merch, you do other things. Do you think money would change you? Do you think having, excess, what would you do with the excess funds?
I'm building my like homestead here. So I think that's what it ends up being until I'm comfortable. And I mean, I don't need more than I need. So because when I was dancing, I had a tremendous amount of money run through my fingers. It's easy come, easy go. Money is. I'd like to invest in my community. Like, I would use it to develop my own nonprofit. I'd probably be, if I make that much money, I'm going to be my own nonprofit's biggest donor.
Yeah.
Right. And I literally, so I'm paying off a truck right now. So we're talking a year or two. My truck's paid off. Right now I'm in a 16 by 16 cabin. The lanai is not built. There's going to be several more. I'd like to develop my camp spot down below. So there's going to be housing structures here. I have a plan that involves spreading out. Hopefully I can buy more acres around me and develop those. So that, I mean, housing issues and food security issues are so incredibly important to me that I would like to develop a bunch of tiny houses on my property and just let people live here. If they need a place to live, they can help tend the food for us. There's going to be work. I want food to grow everywhere. So that takes people to pick it and tend it. So that's kind of my big goal. So I don't
I
know.
would love that. This goes back in like 2014 when we were like super into this. I would love to see like an island or yeah, so I guess it could happen.
Oh no, you're doing it again. This is important and it's breaking up. Come back, sir. You can't get any closer to the Wi-Fi router than you already are. Sorry. I'm just gonna wait. That means he's gonna come back soon. He's trying. I just sit here, smoke the rest of this tiny blunt, I guess. Everyone can see and hear me. Technical difficulties. Hey.
So sorry about that. So that's
You were about to say something really important, and I think that sucks that you wanted to see an island.
oh yeah, I want to see an island of like anarchists to see what would go down and see how that would work. Do you think it's possible on your island?
Anarchy. I mean, it's kind of is anarchy on my island, but no, it's not. There's government. I think that this is a big island, and there is a too wide of a demographic of people to just be like,
Yeah.
anarchy now, right? Like, I don't know how that they're just, I mean, there's the Hellies, right? All of the imports that are very, I mean, all sorts of Trumpsters and like ridiculous people here that are entitled and have money, and they just, buy they've bought almost all of the available houses, and
Wow.
they don't even live here all of the time. It's kind of lousy, actually. The housing market here is insane. I'm really grateful to own properties.
Before my internet goes out again, I think we should probably end it here. Thank you so much for coming on. Definitely come on again when we have a little bit better internet, and we'll go do some more things. So everyone subscribe to our OnlyFans link down below, and we'll go from there.
You're awesome.
Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.